everyone, welcome back to Real Life AK with Colton
and Cindy.
And actually today we're gonna just real quick hit on our mission statement, and I'll actually let Cindy elaborate on that.
Yeah, our mission statement is for all of you out there. We want you to understand that we are here working to elevate lives, and that through us no life will be diminished, but that we would be able to inspire you to embrace abundance. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
So what are we going to talk about today, Cole?
Today we're actually going to be talking about pretty much the older generations and the younger generations, and how pretty much the positive and negatives about how it was and how it's changed. So I'll actually let Cindy, again, elaborate about the older generation and how it used to be.
When I was a kid, we didn't hear a lot. There's negative and positives to everything. And so we didn't hear a lot of a lot about killings and shootings, and those are the negative things. What I've noticed in today's society, though, because I have a 14-year-old daughter, they're really into the real life shows. Now, reality shows. I'm sorry, the reality shows. I love our name. And so most of them are negative. But they capture your attention. This is a way for them to capture. They can capture your attention because that's the younger generation is being raised in I think a lot of drama,
violent, I would say.
Yeah.
And now that's actually where you can. That's why I would think that we have the shootings and everything like that, because we're being fed all this violence on TV.
Yeah, whereas when I was a kid, we weren't even inside. We didn't even listen to, we weren't watching TV. We were outside constantly. And even in junior high and then in high school, I was so active. I mean, we just were not inside. Of course, we live in Alaska, mind you. So not everybody wants to be out in the winter in the cold and playing basketball. So it's
but there was
a big
more
difference.
But there was more interacting with the people, with your friends, going outside, playing, actually being a kid, and not in the house, in front of the TV, in front of the computer. You know what I mean?
Well, technology has increased, and it increases significantly daily and yearly, as you know, with our iPhones and our iPads. I mean, there's always a new one coming out within 6 months to a year.
Right. But depending on the way you use it and view it, it can be a positive aspect in your life or a really negative aspect in your life. And sometimes you don't even know it.
I also encourage our generation 40 on up to really, take in the younger generation, help them and love them and try and understand them, because it's a totally different generation. The good thing is, I think my generation, we're becoming more open-minded, not to be so judgmental.
I can agree to that, because our generation, I think, is being more bold with a lot of things. They're just coming out and just being them, and just, and when you do that, the older generation kind of looks at that and goes like, okay, they're doing what they do. I can see that. And then that tells you, I'm not going to judge this person because of this, and I'm not going to do this. And that kind of changes the way your mind used to think. Do you know what I mean? So
for all of you older people, if you want to stay young, love the young adults and love the young kids.
Evolve.
And that's what I'm doing. I'm evolving. I keep growing, but you know what? I'm staying young. But I also want to be an inspiration, and I want to help the younger generation as well. Now, Colton, what about the younger generation, and what your generation has to go through, or what are the pros and cons?
I think let's talk about the con first. And I think our cons are, let's say for college, for one instance, I think it's changed through the times, because before, in your generation, it was a little easier to go to college and, get an apartment and get your little first car. And, nowadays it seems like the things that are going through now in the world, it's getting a little bit harder to do that. College has gone up, the cost of living has gone up. And, it's even hard to even find a job in some states, Yes, college might be expensive and you might not have this, but if you look at it in a positive way, like our generation does.
I think nowadays, you can still get the careers. It just takes, I think it takes a little bit longer, and connections. Go to school. Knowledge is power. Power is knowledge. Get all the knowledge you can. And you know what? And when you say to yourself, I'm going to have a career. This is what I want to do, and it's going to happen. Get excited, because it will. Be patient, and it will.
I would say there's a lot more, I think, dedicated to the youth now. There's a lot more programs that they're starting to put out. There's a lot more, online things. You can now go to school online. You can get your degree online. There's so many things that you can do, student loans and there's a lot of things now where I think it's for the youth where we can actually succeed.
Being on your own, at such a young age. I remember I was 19 when I first got married. Being out on your own at your age, is it scary? Is it?
I think it's scary for almost a lot of people, because you definitely have to take it one day at a time, especially once you think you're getting comfortable, you have your job, you're going to school, you have your own place, your job starts to cut your hours, let's say, that's it starts to get a little scary, because you're like, okay, I'm going to school, I have a busy schedule, and you start to get really comfortable. So I would say it's scary for almost anyone to be out on their own, but I think that's just a life, and you got to roll with the punches and know that you're actually going to get through it. You're going to get through it.
Just stay positive, you guys. Just know and believe that they will come, and don't let anybody take that away from you. We just want to thank you for being here with us at ReaLifeAK, and be with us on our next episode. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye.
Parents, and then foster. New Year's resolution.